Hocus Pocus 2 is about to be released, and it is going to be an amazing movie. It's going to wake up a lot of people to what the truth is of who these people are making these films about witchcraft and Disney and all that. And so I'm going to take this opportunity to explain to the viewer who's watching this the deep, dark meanings behind this series. You're going to want to watch this. This is going to be amazing. It's going to open up your eyes. So let's watch the trailer, okay? Because the trailer, as I sit here and I break this down, the trailer is going to be the summary of what this whole documentary is going to be about, okay? So let's watch the trailer. See the Puritan? You're going to see Puritan right there. It's because of the Puritan religion. That's where this all originates.
You know, legend has it, it's on the 16th birthday that a witch gets her powers.
Another year begins anew. Maiden, mother, and crone too.
So that eye that you saw, it's from the Book of the Dead, and the eye is symbolic of take out the sin from your eye so that you can judge somebody else. Okay, but first take out the mote from your eye. Okay, so it's all about eyes. What do you see? Who are you? What perception do you see life through?
We call on thee with one request. Help our intentions manifest.
Lock up your children. When this hits, mark my words, when this hits, you're going to see an awakening of people on child endangerment and things of what I'm going to be talking to you about. So this movie is going to be a huge awakening.
Yes, Salem, we're back!
We're back, witches. That's what it says right there. We're back, witches. That's a play on we're back, bitch's. Okay? This isn't a comedy. This isn't family friendly, and this isn't about fantasy. But what this is going to be about, I'm going to be talking about 3 young women who accidentally bring back the Sanderson Sisters, the modern-day Salem witches from the Salem witch trials, and they must figure out how to stop the child-hungry witches from wreaking havoc on the world. Well, let me show you the people that are into this stuff. They run media. Okay, this is Teen Vogue. Menstrual blood magic. 3 spells for your period. In this installment of Practical Magic, okay, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest of it. But Hocus Pocus 2, okay, is a glimpse into what they call fun, what they think is playtime, into what it's really about. It's a perversion of the blood of Christ and what he has done for you and I and for the whole world. And it's a perverted view of that. They want to make fun of Christ, they want to make fun of good, and they want to call evil good, and they want to call Satan and what he does a good thing. It's what saves them. It's what unleashes their flesh. So let's show, this is getting political, people. This isn't just about entertainment and stuff. This is political. This is the Women's March, okay? It's election day. All the power to the people. All people to the polls. If you're eligible, get out there and vote. Fighting the patriarchy any way we can. Unfortunately, witchcraft and witches and of this sort it's a rebellion of women against what God has ordained. Now, let me get through the rest of this documentary before I release to you the truth about what that truly means, how that really looks. But for the sake of argument, let's just get through this. That's what this is about. That's what witchcraft is about. Okay? And if you don't believe me, let's look at a historian that's writing a book about this. And let's see what The Witch Isn't Dead. The new book explores witchcraft's rebellious history and modern transformation. This is recent, 2021. Okay? Here's a picture. Witchcraft offers a deep dive into many facets of centuries-old tradition in the Western world, weaving more than 400 classic contemporary artworks with essays and interviews. What this person has done is gone through and wanted to present witchcraft through symbolism and art, the history of it being a feminine energy, and it's about rebellion. Okay? So, now that we get through that, I want to go back to the trailer, and I want to point out two big things. One is the Puritan poster, because it's about the Puritan religion that we're going to get to. A pastor that it shows was a very wolfish guy, okay? And so we're going to get to that, but then the second part is the Book of the Dead, the eyeball that opens, okay? So let's go back here. I'm going to mute this. So here we go. Fighting Puritans, right? This is a play, and you're gonna. It's basically mocking the Puritans, Christians who want to keep a good lifestyle for their children, and yet Christians are sheep, and they will follow, and that's why it's important to have good leadership. But it's mocking. Okay, that's a mock. It's mockery. But this is where I want to get to this next. Okay, the all-seeing eye, Book of the Dead. Okay, all the symbolism, it all wraps around together. Okay, so the leather-bound book, right? Well, there's a movie out there called Jeepers Creepers. See that? So, in this movie, a brother and sister driving home through isolated countryside for spring break encounter a flesh-eating creature which is in the midst of its ritualistic eating spree. Now, I'm going to let you watch the trailer here, but in this, I'll explain it. So here's a brother and a sister. They're driving home from college. They're having fun, talking to each other like, oh, go wash your clothes. Oh, well, you're stinky. Well, how about you? How many boys did you sleep with? Oh, just perversion, having fun with that. And so they're driving through the countryside, and they hear on the radio station a bunch of preachers warning them about the devil. Okay? And they're just kind of mocking through it like teenagers. Well, they run across this devil throwing bodies down this pipe, and they climb down there, and they see that it's an old. Again, what they'll do. This is the brilliant, deviant, horrific camouflage of lies that Satan uses, the devil uses. Is they tell the truth. I'm talking about these producers, and they'll tell the truth, but only so much truth so that they can blend in a little poison, a little dung. So let's go through this, okay? So now they're at an old church. They're going down here. It's watching the demon, okay? So there's all these bodies down there, and the book that you see here on the left-hand side, it's grafted with human skin. And the basement is grafted with all these different humans, and the demon that's coming after them, it needs their eyeballs and their skin and certain things to keep itself alive. Okay? Now, here's the Book of the Dead. This is the Necronomicon. This is what witches use. This is the same thing, Book of the Dead. So Sam Raimi, who's another huge director who made the movie Spider-Man, whatnot. Okay, I'm not going to get in his history. We don't have enough time. There's the Satan Symbolism. Okay, so they made these books and made movies based on these books. And in these books, it's all about human sacrifice. You have to take, it's a perversion of the Bible. What did I say? Your eye. If you're going to call out sin, make sure you've purged it from your life. Okay? And who's the only one that can do that? Christ. And who's the only one that's perfect? Christ. So all of us down here are nothing but sinners. But we do have the Holy Spirit, and we do speak the truth when there's things going on. And so in this book, and all this content that they put out there, and you're going to see here with, I'm going to give you 2 examples. There's many others you can go through. It's take off your hand, pluck out your eye. If you're going to be, it's rather that you go into heaven with one less body part than to go into hell with a full body. Do you understand what I'm talking about, men? Okay, I talk about all kinds of women. So the perversion here is when you're going to get into the deep, dark, evil stuff, you need to sacrifice a part of yourself. This is a scene from the director Sam Raimi's Evil Dead that I told you about. So he gets possessed by the Necronomicon, okay? So he's sitting here trying to figure out different ways to get what he thinks is just, maybe a stroke or a virus or dementia. Nope, it's not. So then guess what he does? He goes and he takes a chainsaw, and he ends up cutting it off. Now here's the book Saw, or the movie Saw, and it's the same thing. And people enjoyed, it was just demented what they did in this movie. So these guys are shackled up and they have to go through a bunch of horrendous, torturous, hellish memories of things that they've done, and in order to free themselves to go home to their family, they got to do horrible stuff like cut their leg off in order to get free. Pluck out your eye if you had sin. But these guys, they double down on it. Why am I doing this? Okay. Why am I doing this? Who shall lay anything to the change of God's elect? Are you God's elect? It is God that justifieth. Who is he that condemneth? It is Christ that died, yea, rather, that is risen again for God's elect. Are you his elect? Who is even at the right hand of God, who will also make intercession for us, who also separates us, who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril of sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. All of the structures that have been set up, the entertainment, all the pillars of society, it's all based on fraud. It's all based on predatory practices. And it's all based on hurting children. Most of it, not all of it, most of it. I've been killed many times over in this life. Slaughtered, okay? Been through a lot. A lot of other people have. And this is about warning us so that you'll become God's elect. You'll just believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and become part of his family and be part of his elect. And he'll never leave you. He'll never forsake you. You never feel alone. So nothing in any of these things. We are conquerors because he loves us, okay? We're conquerors through him. So we're not separated from God through any of this. Nevertheless, what our job is, what I'm doing here is warning the wicked of their way so that they'll turn from it. I don't want them to die in their iniquity. I want their soul delivered. I want their soul delivered like my soul's delivered. So another thing here. So I forgot we're going to go at the back to this Hocus Pocus 2 clip. And at the very end, the guy says what he's going to say, and I'm going to show you how even the slightest perversion in Christian music can throw it off, can throw the gospel off, can throw worship off. Okay, so let's get here.
Hey, it's the Sanderson Sisters.
I bet you're looking for the stage.
Always.
I gotta be honest with you, Louisiana. I may or may not have just been catching my breath back there, all right? I mean, the heart of the song is really it's about being on stage. And not everyone can relate to that. Across the stage to that microphone. And every night after they said my name, I would take that 50-foot walk and I would say the same thing night after night. Lights, so I'll step out the way. I'll give you center stage. Alright, spotlight. Give them what they came for. If you wanna steal my show, sit back.
If you want to steal my show, I'll sit back and watch you go. Okay, I forgot to show you here. This is, you can go back here and watch that. Okay, so that's this guy who looks like, you know, he's walking on stage. Looks a little weird. Okay, so what does God say? He doesn't steal anything. So if anything, they're taking this Bible verse and they're twisting it to make music out of it. But God doesn't steal anything. He's not a thief. Job 121. And said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. The Lord gives, and he takes away. He doesn't steal. The Lord owns everything. This is a documentary. This is a documentary I made on The Devil is in the Music. It's in the investigative documentary part of our channel. But I'm gonna sit here and just play this and let you listen. They'll put messages inside of songs so that it'll trigger something in you. And so he's bringing that to his manager's attention. And I just wanted to point out his hat mocking the Trinity, or what, you know, the Mystery Babylon religion, making a joke out of it.
Well, we were like working on some remixes of the last single, right? And we heard like a really strange background track, and we were wondering whether or not you knew what it was all about.
Gee, I've no idea what that was.
Where did it come from? I mean, why? We just want some answers.
The answers I will provide. I'll be right back.
So in that specific movie, they find out they're working for Satan and they're making music that has the devil's messages in it, but they're making fun of it. Okay? Oh, by the way, there's Target plastered all over the airplane. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with here. Okay? This is what they come in, and they come in as wolves. Now let's look at the director who's making Hocus Pocus 2. Let's look at her filmography, and let's see if you should be taking your little daughter to this. Here's the proposal. A woman doesn't stand like that. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. That's not how a woman stands naturally. The whole thing is about perverting children. Here we go, Varsity Blues. I'm gonna play a clip here. So she's producing Varsity Blues. Varsity Blues was a very popular film when I was a teenager. Again, they just rehashed the same garbage over and over. AJ and the Queen. Let's look at AJ and the Queen. Oh, RuPaul, drag queen. Oh, and there's a little girl. She's an actress. She's a girl, but she's dressed as a boy. So this goes back to perverting children. So this is the director who's making Hocus Pocus 2. Now let's look at Varsity Blues. And I'm sorry, this isn't Again, family friendly. This isn't a comedy, but this is the stuff that they do. They're telling the truth. Watch. Sex education in public schools. This is what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
No, I'm not a kid.
We are adults. And I think it's necessary that we move beyond the common nomenclature commonly associated with sexual reproduction.
This is what perverts do to groom people.
I want everybody together to go ahead and say, penis, 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 vagina, vagina, vagina.
And he is giving that stare like, haha, we know about this. I'm undressing you with my eyes. And it's comedy. See? Do you understand how perfect your child's... God gave us a perfect design. All we need to do is throw this to the side. That's all you need to do is you need just to purge it from your home. You're looking for peace? You're looking for a relationship with your child? You're looking for those type of things? You're looking for the things that people want? Get rid of the evil. Just get rid of it. Purge it. So here in the documentary, I'm just going to show you a clip of here how they just want to normalize violence and sex all together at the same time because of the lust of the flesh.
I'm strong! I'm ready for what comes along! I've got good friends! We'll stick together till silence!
Who wants to play bodies, bodies, bodies?
Oh my god!
Does anybody have service?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'm a hot girl, pop girl, rich girl.
Guys, I get so stressed.
She just said, I'm a hooker, okay? This is what it's all about. Whoredom, witchcraft, hooker, sorcery. Sell your body out. Destroy yourself.
If you draw the piece of your hands while you talk. Complete the situation that I'm not escalating. You're holding the knife and you're moving your hands while you talk.
That would be so fucking obvious if I were the killer.
Dave.
Did you just fucking shoot me?
I can't believe you're making this about you.
What are you?
So the people that are making this movie is A24. Now, if let's go back to the article. Why are children wanting to kill themselves? Why are they making movies like this, glorifying the thoughts that children are having? It's the devil, okay? If you're watching this going, I thought it was a behind the scenes video. What bodies, bodies, bodies? What? It's the devil is behind the world. So go out and find the one person that might be involved in bodies, 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 thinking it's cool. And they watch that video, just the one person. That's it. You just want one person. That's how you live life. You just serve others. Here we go. Galatians 5:16, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Let's look at the original trailer for Hocus Pocus 2, okay? Let's look at the original trailer, and I'm not going to break down much. I just want to watch it, but just now that you understand the symbolism and things that they're doing to children, be aware, okay? And if you find something, leave a comment below.
Jump back. Twist the bones and bend the back.
Back in
Twist the bones and then the back. These are children eaters.
Yes?
thought they got rid of the Sanderson Sisters for good.
Jump back. Twist the bones and bend the back.
Back in 1693, the people of Salem, Massachusetts, witches,
Yes?
thought they got rid of the Sanderson Sisters for good.
We shall be back.
300 years later, it's Halloween Eve.
And they're back.
We're home. Are you broads a little old to be tricked?
So you'll see here the actress that's the young one. She's trying to get involved with Satan, trying to have sex with him on Halloween. You're going to find that here at the end of the trailer, okay? This is the stuff they're trying to teach kids and make fun of it.
Looking for the one thing they miss most.
Who stayed for supper? I'm not hungry. Oh, but we are.
Only one boy has the power to stop them.
Prepare to die again! You have no powers here, you fool!
Before all Salem falls under their spell.
Hello, you!
It's candy. It's candy to the ears, to the eyes, tickling ears. Same thing at the pulpit, only this is Disney.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Would thou dance with me?
And Kathy Najimy. Hocus Pocus.
See how they've been grooming? They've been grooming people's minds, brainwashing people's minds. So Bette Midler, who is a famous actress, she's the star of the ensemble cast. Let's look at what she believes, who she is. This is Oprah. This is an interview with Oprah talking to Bette Midler, I'm sorry. Okay, but do you believe in a power greater than yourself? You mean, do I believe in God? Oh, I'm not mad about God. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm mad about God. That's why I'm divine. She believes that she's God. Okay? So if they believe that they're God, if she believes that she's God, Bette Midler, and you have these producers that are trying to, who are they working for? Where are the money they're getting from? What are they involved in? But why you got them over the narcissistic, egotistical God figure, Bette Midler? You have these producers that have been, they told Lady Gaga, there's an interview out there, they said that, you know, when you're out there, because they get them hyped up in their mind when they're going on stage, you know, because they're like puppeteers, they're playing around with these people, okay? And they're like, when you go out on stage, just think of it as you're a pastor and you're talking to your congregation. And she's like, and I do, and I love it. And then like it's this documentary showing, and she's out there, you know, preaching liberalism and whatever. Bette Midler thinks she's God. So if she thinks she's a God, and you have these producers up here thinking they're gods, controlling the little gods below here, you think there might be a problem, even if you are an atheist or an agnostic? Do you think there might be a problem in that type of thinking, right? And I hope you become a Christian. So here we go, Traveling America in Search of the Truth. This is a great documentary. It's people loved it. They've watched it, and it kind of condenses the whole world into just how evil it is in this short documentary. In the late 1980s, Oprah Winfrey started a show that grabbed the attention of American women. On her nationally syndicated TV show, in front of millions of people, she denied that Jesus Christ was the only way and that there are many ways to God.
We're always walking in the direction of one or the other, that all of your actions in life, either you're moving toward the darkness or you're moving toward the light.
That's right.
She calls it fear and love. One of the mistakes that human beings make is believing that there is only one way to live, and that we don't accept that there are diverse ways of being in the world, that there are millions of ways.
See that woman? You don't agree with people. Let them talk. Don't compromise. It's one thing I'm learning.
And her path might be something else, and when she gets there, she might call it the light. But her loving and her kindness and her generosity brings her, if it brings her to the same point that it brings you, it doesn't matter whether she called it God along the way or not.
And I guess the danger that could be in that, I mean, it sounds great on the onset, but if you really look at both sides,
there couldn't possibly be just one way. What about Jesus? What about Jesus?
You say there isn't only one way. There is one way and only one way, and that is through Jesus.
There couldn't possibly be with
because
the millions of people
you say
in the
there
world.
isn't.
There couldn't possibly be.
Because you say, you intellectualize it and say there isn't. If you don't believe that, you're all buying into the lie.
That's how it's done, people. That's exactly how it's done in any way, shape, or form. Break down the idols. Okay, here we go. And you just tell the truth. You just take your opportunities. This is another documentary, the Shack documentary, about how these people come in and they, wolves, and they come in and they pervert the gospel. This is a quote from Anton LaVey: "The real Satanist is not quite so easily recognized as such." You'll find Ted Gunderson, who's an ultra-awake guy, is involved in pedophilia type stuff and is married Anton LaVey's ex-wife. So you got people that are in the Truther organization that are the Satanists. They're just hiding themselves. Look what he says. The real Satanist is not quite so easily recognized as such. The Shack authors will deny they are using paganism, witchcraft terminology, and definitions for their characters and storyline all day long. If they have gone out of their way to hide their history and belief system from their readers and viewers up until this point, they will assuredly deny the following research.
Hi guys, it's me, Jenna from the White Witch Parlor, and today I want to discuss the top 15 signs for spiritual awakening. This can be a really intense journey for people and time, and it's really, really good to know the symptoms so that you don't feel like you're going crazy or losing yourself, because you're definitely not. You're just turning into a butterfly and you're emerging out of your cocoon and you're finally awakening to something greater.
Hi there, beautiful souls. Avalon here, and I wanted to talk to you today about your power and your shadow elements. As an elemental practitioner, I really see the world through an elemental lens, and doing so enables me to better understand the nature behind things. It is something that happens so automatically for me. I see if a person is ruled by fire, or by water, or by air.
In the Shack, God is constantly being portrayed as Mother Nature or Earth or ground. The more you look into the name Papa for this goddess deity for Mother Nature that's in the book, and then you can go and look. It gives details. It breaks it down just like what I'm doing here, but in a very cinematic way, I guess you would say. Not even that, just a fun way, so you can watch it. So here we go. Bible verse, Matthew 7:15. Be aware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Okay, so Salem witch trials. This is where Hocus Pocus derives their storyline and their characters from. Okay, so let's look at the history and let's really peel back the layers, have the spiritual discernment, and see the excuses they use to get their storyline, and why, again, it's important that we have good leaders and that we follow Christ and we obey. Okay, here we go. There was a social divide between leading families as well as a split. So they brought in a new pastor, Samuel Parris. Okay? Who's Samuel Parris? Samuel Parris's early life. In 1673, Samuel Parris was attending Harvard and Cambridge. Okay, the guy went to Barbados. Okay, he was in charge of his father's estate, and he became a sugar merchant, and he was unsuccessful in business. So he's a businessman. He's a spoiled brat who became a businessman who failed. Okay? That's essentially what this guy is. Okay, in 1680, Parris moved to Boston, the capital of Massachusetts. Okay, because he kept failing as a merchant, he decided to change careers and began training to become a minister. Time out. I shouldn't have made my comment, made fun of the guy like that. Okay, what I read, what I'm about to read you matches up, but I would... Okay, but... Anyway, that's just what it looks like, and I shouldn't say it like that. Okay, sorry. In 1686, Samuel Parris began serving as a guest minister and interim pastor for several Boston churches. Okay? He began to train as a minister, a new career path. He entered negotiations to become the new minister in Salem. Parris accepted the position and became the official minister. Now, we're going to find out that you're going to see that the guy, before he became a minister, before he accepted the position, was wanting a bunch of money. And, well, you're going to find out the guy's not a good guy, okay? That very winter, Samuel, this pastor, his daughter and cousin began to undertake experiments in fortune telling. What happened? Why is his home not in order? Mostly focusing on their future social status and potential husbands. They were quick to share their game with the other young girls in the area. Even though the practice of fortune telling was regarded as demonic activity, by January 1692, 9-year-old Elizabeth appeared to be consumed with secret preoccupation and was forgetting errands and unable to concentrate. Children are children. That's just children. You're patient with them. You love them. In strict religion, Puritan religion, when you obey Christ and you do the best you can, you are firm when it comes to certain things. But people learn. It's life. So when you have this type of extremism where you want tyrants ruling over people and using this extremism, you're gonna get some bad stuff happening, okay? So these children were forgetting errands and unable to concentrate because they're children. And then they began acting in strange ways, barking like a dog when her father would rebuke her, screaming wildly when she heard the Our Father pray, and once hurled a Bible across the room. If the guy's house isn't in order and the children are acting up, and then they're delving into fortune telling stuff, and who knows how long they've been in it, you're gonna have problems. Now, Samuel Parris believed that prayer could cure her odd behavior, but his efforts were ineffective. In fact, her actions got worse. Soon, she was contorting her body into odd postures, consistently spouting foolish, ridiculous speeches, and generally having fits. You don't know what's going on in that child's brain because they're involved. You got a tyrant. You got all kinds of things happening, okay? Salem Village was the only parish that responded to Parris. This is the pastor, right? So he's having problems at home. His children are disobeying him. Then we find out he responded to the application, yet he kept the community waiting for over a year. Do you think he really wanted to be a pastor, or do you think it was a career choice? While he deliberated, though, about the offer, the delay resulted from his reluctance to lower himself socially, as well as his fear of Salem itself. This is from the encyclopedia. The village had a reputation for being a difficult place to live because of conflicts within the community. Then he basically... It was the understanding of the people and him that he was going to go down there, and as long as he was the minister, he could have the land and the church and stuff and have his parish, whatever. And as soon as he left, it goes back to the community until they find a new pastor. Well, as soon as the guy came there, became a pastor, started causing rife, preaching you're going to get to this, preaching things to irritate people. He decided, no, I want to keep everything here. You guys made the agreement with me. I get to keep all of this, even if I leave. So that's who this guy is, okay? Yeah. The union of Parris, the preacher, and Salem appeared to begin smoothly, but within 2 years of his arrival, dissatisfaction with Parris was evident. His difficulties stemmed in part of disagreements with his contract. Okay, it was never formalized. Parris' ministry signaled a church both more intrusive and more expensive than some villagers wished. After the trials ended, many of the members of the Salem Village Church condemned Samuel Parris for his roles in the trials, accused him of being a procurer to the events that took place. I just summarized everything for you. The guy used spiritual manipulation, mind control, and tormented people. And then he caused a bunch of murder. Yeah. And then Hocus Pocus is made because they use it as an excuse. Do you understand why it's important to have good leadership? This is just to show you the tyrants, right? So, do you really want tyrants judging over you as well? Right? Let's look at this.
There is a jury of men from around the county and a panel of distinguished judges.
None of the judges had any particular legal training. They were merchants and other leaders of the colony.
The Chief Justice, William Stoughton, is also Lieutenant Governor of the colony. He is known to be a rigid and dogmatic Puritan.
This special court would have differed from courts today.
So then she goes and says they basically have no rights. So the Pope, do you think these men that are in high positions of power using the Bible and whatever they, the Jesus Christ word is the only truth, but their Bibles, okay? They're using all of their Bibles that's based on the one Bible. They use it to manipulate their flock, create court systems, things of that nature. It gets political. So let's leave it at this, okay? This is a clip from the documentary that I made, The Devil's a Steadfast Baptist Church, okay? It would be good information, I guess, to learn from this documentary. And I believe that. And I believe exactly what God put here for us to learn, all right? And to live by. But these people, they don't. They give it lip service. Let's get into their false gospel, and I'm gonna prove to you guys that they don't understand the Bible. They don't understand the gospel.
Be saved, and the entire Bible is just believe. It's only by faith. Now, this is what you have to believe: that when Jesus died and was buried, and he rose from the dead, he paid for every sin that you'll ever do, every sin that you've ever done, every sin you might do today, and every sin that you'll do for the rest of your life.
Okay, that is absolutely true, but it just goes to show that this man, as he's saying this, knows full well what he's been doing. And he's reading a script. He's a businessman. Just because they're not wearing long clothing, but they are wearing business clothes. They're not. So that guy who was reading that script, the pastor, his name's Donnie Romero, and he got busted like going to Las Vegas, blowing church money on prostitutes and hardcore drugs and doing horrible things, and then having his children sleep in the hotel next to him while he was doing this with these women. I mean, just horrible, sick stuff. And then he goes on YouTube and all whatever he's doing, and he says that about the Bible, right? Do you understand the fruit? Be aware. Listen. So let's end this on a Bible verse, and the lust of the flesh. Okay, God says right here, flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth this fornication sinneth against his own body. Jesus Christ, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit of God, Christ lives in you. Don't do certain things to your body. Okay? Learn from it. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil, concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Go down here, look at all these Bible verses. God's word is awesome. God's word is awesome. When his Spirit lives in you, it's awesome. You got great life, joy, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. John 8:32, ye shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. And I hope you learned something from this. And if you have learned something from this, go out and speak the truth. Tear down the idols.